So basically, Roosevelt started out trying to take over Panama and basically trying to take over Colombia, which he didn't have much success of, but he did basically pave the way for basically JFK and or the JFKs pretty much. And basically JFK was the one who actually took over in Colombia for quite a while. Anyway, and using that, I guess, as a power base, and also Kitty Hawk or whatever else, that place in the desert, which was all it was a fuel depot basically, where they had a base or something like that, and they were just flying aircraft out of there and flying fuel in there or something like that. It's a fuel storage site or a nuclear storage, I don't know, some kind of storage site. I didn't know much about it myself. Maybe a mine, I don't really know. Basically, someplace in the desert. Like I said, you'd have to talk to the Middle East. They built a little town out there and built some other stuff out there. There really wasn't much out there, really. Anyway, I don't really know that much about Kitty Hawk, but basically you'll hear JFK or Nixon basically talking about Kitty Hawk a lot in all the old documents and records. Like I said, all the records are actually in the White House. They've been slightly adjusted and changed by JFK. Like I say, one of him basically spent 20 years or 15 years basically going to the Pentagon every single day, looking through all the records to try and make piece everything back together about where all the mines are. Like I said, I believe he was probably looking after the mining department, which was also located at the Pentagon. It's all in the Pentagon. Like I say, and the Pentagon used to be divided up into 5 different sides, whatever. The different sides, one was for Germany, one was for China, one was for the different countries, basically. And basically they would communicate or work with pretty much the buildings in those countries, basically. So one would be talking to room 10 or basically England, and one would be talking to what's it called, and pretty much they're basically bigger offices or the drafting offices for those sections of the country, basically. So 5 different sites for 5 different countries or whatever, blah blah blah. Anyway, something like that basically. And the records were in triplicate. They were in the Pentagon and they were also in the home offices of those countries as well. So, anyway, and also, so basically, it's just a big drafting office, pretty much, and an engineering office. And that's all it served as for quite a long time, basically. So, and the actual offices for the American government or the Department of Defense were actually inside that one little building that is somewhere, what's called, by the swastika buildings or something. I don't really know. Like I said, a bunch of kids would probably know more about all that stuff than I do. Anyway, though, but yeah, so like I say, Nixon really or JFK really didn't know anything about the American government or anything about any of the governments. Basically, all he was a clone, pretty much, and he had access to the Pentagon. A lot of people had access to the Pentagon. Once upon a time, back in 1920s or 1930s, anyone could just walk in there, basically. It wasn't really restricted. America was very much open source, basically. You could basically go in there and you could request documents, and we would show you them, or somebody would give them to you. So you could look at certain things. So basically, it's basically a big historical place, because like I said, after the world was mostly built and everything else, it just served as basically a historical archive. It really didn't do much really per se, other than just just had all the records for all the different countries inside of it. That's it. It did have a mine or something underneath it or something. I don't really know exactly what was underneath it. Maybe a chemical weapons laboratory. Germ warfare laboratory. I have no idea really. I forget what was under there. Anyway, I don't know. It was a long time ago. I don't really care. Anyway, this is just to help the kids so they understand what's basically going on in the world. Like I said, I'm Lucifer Star, so I was building all around the world basically, and pretty much just used the Pentagon as basically a draftsman site for my engineers. So everyone could easily talk together and walk across the way and work on each other's things and work with each other. Basically a good common ground place for a lot of different groups. But this was all before JFK, I guess, probably about, I don't know, quite a while before JFK. Once Jimmy Carter got in there, then things got to be a mess. And that's one of the reasons why they were locking up all the Japanese, Chinese, and basically Germans, to basically make it so it's just whites and maybe some blacks. Mostly some whites. He was going to kill off the blacks anyway. So anyway, and he was just going to do whites only, pretty much. And mostly just his clones. He only trusted himself, so he just only trusted his clones to be in positions of power. So Yeah, kind of a psychotic guy anyway. But I guess if you can make 30 clones of yourself, shrug. So anyway, so that's pretty much, and one JFK or Nixon was actually had access to a cryogenic stasis chamber at some point in time, would pop out every 5 or 10 years and go on a killing spree, and then go back to sleep inside of his little cryogenic stasis chamber somewhere. I don't really know where. I think that was him anyway. We were spotting him throughout for about 250 years or so, which is way past any time that one of them should be able to survive. But like I said, he would pop up for like a couple days, like a week or 2 weeks or a month or something, and then he would drive out, and then he would drive in, and he'd disappear again for another like 50 or 60 years or something, and then he'd pop out again, or 10 years or something. I forget what the interval was, like 5 years or 10 years or something like that. And you'd go on a killing spree, and then you'd go back. And that might have been the actual Nixon clone. He was very annoying and lasted for about 250 or 500 years or something, because he kept on going back into cryogenic stasis or something like that. I don't really know. But basically, we caught pictures of him or glimpses of him or someone. So anyway, I was watching him or noticing, basically, and he would do a killing spree, and then he'd go back to wherever he was hiding and basically go back inside. So anyway, so that was, I think I'm right about that. Like it was really hard to tell, really, because all these records have been destroyed, and basically, of course, he wanted to cover his tracks. And once he got his clones out there, it was a mess. Like I said, you can track the clones to basically 4 different places, 4 different countries, and 4 different places where they basically made themselves governor of that town or country or city state, basically 4 different states, whatever, and they all thought he was somebody else, but it was actually him, and then there was 3 other clones, and then they